Welcome to the Success Journey Show. Let's travel together through the lives of individuals on the road to success.
Hey, what's going on, travelers? It's Ricky Venters and Marlon Madden, and we are back with you for another week of the Success Journey Show. What's going on, Marlon? What's good, man? How you doing today?
You know, I'm just living. I'm living the dream. I'm gonna say it again. I'm living the dream.
Yeah, man. My dream is hectic right now. I tell you what, man. It is. And sorry we missed you guys last week. We threw up a throwback, which is a good throwback. Shout out to our girl Sharika. She's doing a lot of big things. Launched a new product line, Legacy bags and everything. Is it Legacy or Journey? I think it's Journey or Legacy bags. I got to get that right. I got to get that right.
Yeah, get that right, Rick.
Gotta get it right.
I don't need her to lawyer up on us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For false deprivation.
Oh, I gotta get it right. All right, let me see.
Get it right.
Oh man, let's see. Where is it? Sharika.
I don't want her to get crazy on us.
Yeah.
She looked like she'd be working out, so I don't know.
Journey. Oh, that's why I put his Legacy and Journey on the same thing. Journey. There we go.
So
I knew I was close, man. I knew I was close. Yeah, they launched a new product. Phenomenal. Shout out to them. They're doing great stuff. So we wanted to, put her podcast up again just to stir a little bit more excitement around what she's doing. So, yeah, shout out to them. But we missed you guys, man. We missed you guys. But I tell you, there is a reason why we weren't here. And it just boils down to, man, I am swamped. Man, dude, I am just, life is just hitting me left and right. Good stuff, but it's just swamped, man. As you guys can see behind me, my background looks a little bit different today, man. There's no books on the shelves, no photos on the walls. You see a couple of instruments out. If I move my chair, you can see boxes. It's just, let me move this way. Boom, boxes, man. Man.
You hit that good, man. You hit them boxes real good.
Yeah, man. We're moving out. So, dude, it's that on top of a whole bunch of other stuff that's happening right now, man. So, so that's why we missed you guys last week. Not that we didn't want to be here, but it definitely was for a good reason. Yeah, and definitely keep you guys posted as I'm on my journey. On our journey, man, to move to a different spot. But since we weren't here with you guys for the last 2 weeks, we want to just catch up and just talk with you guys just about life. And I'll tell you this one, man. My son, we have something we're going to talk about today, but just catching up with you guys. You sometimes you look and you try to see, man, is everything that you're doing worth it? Is it going in the right direction? And I know many of you guys been on your journey, and you're like, man, how long is this journey going to be? Like, that's the first thing you do when you're going somewhere. You plug into your GPS. All right, how long is it going to take me to get there? That's the normal thing to do, right?
Yep.
So that you can plan accordingly. It's going to take me 30 minutes. It's going to take me an hour, 2 hours. If it's a long trip, 10 hours, whatever it may be. So you can plan your stops, plan when you need to get gas, all those different things. But life is different, and when you jump on a lot of these different journeys and career paths, success that we call it, there is no time frame, locked in. And a lot of times you're like, man, is this thing worth it? Why am I doing this? Right. And the last couple of weeks, actually, man, my son came up to me and said, hey, Daddy, I want to start, I want to get my YouTube page back going. I was like, all right, cool. It's there. It's on you, like, to get it up and going. If you need help with editing anything, let me know. But, I gave you all the tools, every editing software. You got your tablet you can record on, whatever you're going to do. So, come with his friend, and they're like, all right, we're going to work on this. So they worked on it. They worked on a recording and whatnot. And, they got it out. They needed help with posting it. So I helped them post it, right? I'm like, let's watch and see what they're going to do. So the other day they came to me, they were like, yo, so we have a plan. And I'm like, all right, where in the world do I come into this plan, right?
Yeah. You're in the plan some way, somehow.
Like, what in the world is going on here? So I'm listening. I'm like, okay, yeah, what you got? And so we got like 3 episodes we're going to record. We're going to record an episode on this. We're going to record an episode on that. We're going to record an episode on this. And we're going to get it going. And, so I was like, okay. So what do you want me to do? Nah, we're just telling you. So just in case we need some help, you just let, you know that, this is what we're doing. I was like, all right, cool. So I promise, man, let me tell you something, man. These kids have been on it. He has been on it. Him and his friend, they're sitting down, recording their episodes or whatever on their YouTube channel, editing it every day. Now it's like, I figured out how to do this. I figured out how to do that. I figured out to sit there. I'm like, good. All the stuff they figure out, I know how to do. But my wife was like, oh man, you're gonna help them? I said, nah, I'm not gonna help them. I'll be there if they really need me, but I need them to try to figure it out on their own. Yeah. And I'll be there to guide them away. So, I mean, the proudest moment, man, I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling through and their YouTube page pops up on my subscriber thing. And I, see them sitting down like, hey, what's going on? It's Solomon and we just want to talk to you guys today about, what we're doing. Our last video was this, and that, and this is what we're doing now. So, so things happen. And I was just like, wow, they're taking it. And I don't know where they're going to go with it. Yeah. But I'm asking myself the question, it was like, where do they get the idea to do these things? And they see us doing recording, they see us putting stuff out there. And when they see that I do it and I can do it, then automatically it's something that's known for them that they're able to do. Right. Right. So when you start looking at the whys and things of that nature, which we're going to talk about today, is finding your why, or determining what that why is, it's like, man, when you start seeing stuff like that, it's like, at the end of the day, if that's what I get, then I win. Then I won. And then I had to share that. With everybody this week. But before we go too far, man, Marlon, catch us up on your end. And if we have any, shout out to the travelers, point them in the direction of the website and things of that nature where they can find us.
Before I do that, Rick, I'm gonna use my time to do this in the vein of financial, the financial journey that we was talking about. If everybody remember our last, the one right before this one was the balance sheet and how to do a budget sheet and why is it important and stuff like that. But now I'm gonna tell you there's some advantages that you guys can take some stuff you can take advantage of, meaning the interest rate or the APR or whatever you want to call it for the housing is real low. Federal Reserve has said they're going to keep it there for a couple of years. However, you don't know how, with the climate of this country, you don't know what's going to happen at any given time. So I tell somebody to take advantage of it. It's down in the twos. That's record other than zero that they did, I think, right after the crisis, and they wanted to get people to stimulate the economy back. But right now, there's 2%, 2.3, 2.2, 2.5 even is real low. So I would tell people, if you're going to refinance a house, now's the time to do it. However, you got to do some checking. You got to do some stuff on your end. Meaning, if you've been in the house 15 years and you're paying 6.5, because that's what it was back in that day. Those were good interest rates. Then you want to weigh, do I want to give up 15 years and start the clock all over again? And if I start the clock all over again, can I pay, do a 15-year plan to pay off my house? And will it not hurt my pocket, being that I'm going to cut it down from 6 point something all the way down to 2? Right? So that's one thing I want you to do. And also, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are investing in the stock market. I'm not a guru, not a stock market guru, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if you guys seen that Walt Disney is laying off like almost 30,000 people. You have the airlines that are saying that, hey, if you guys don't give us some kind of stimulus again, that we're going to lay off people. Businesses are closing. All these different Fortune 500 companies or big companies, number one companies are closing. So I will tell you, I'm not saying that the stock market is not good, but don't see just because you see 28, 30, you're just like, oh man, the stock market. There's some reporting issues that some of these companies are going through. So they're telling you that they're good, but you got to think March. Oh, let's give them March. right? March,
Mm-hmm.
April, May, June, July, August, September. If you got to think there's a lot of people that's not paying their rent. There's a lot of people not paying their mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
The companies are saying that they were telling you on their balance sheet that, hey, I'm good, and then the pandemic happens, and now you find out that they don't even have 3 months worth of money to keep them running, or they have to cut back people for certain reasons. And if you see Walt Disney cutting back, I'm telling some of y'all you need to cut back. So if you see Walt Disney cut back 30,000 people because they know, hey, we got to plan a little bit for what's going on, then you also in your life should say, where can I trim the fat? What's needed and what's wanted? And you got to go between that and say, what do I need? And once you figure out what you need, you say, okay, the wants can go. And then you cut that off and put some in reserve. I'll tell you, I alluded to on the balance sheet that you shouldn't want to keep money in the bank. However, I tell you to be as liquid as possible, because it's a seesaw that you have to do, because you want to stay liquid, and so that when it's time to make those big purchases, because these assets are being going in foreclosure or whatever the situation is, that you're saying, hey, I could go buy this asset. It used to be worth 100,000, but because the person is foreclosed on it, they're selling it for 35,000. Guess what I do? I have that 35,000. I can pay for that because the banks are not giving out loan because the market is so volatile right now. Well, I could. So there's a lot of different things, a lot of different strategies you can use. I would tell you to research for yourself. Like I tell everybody, I'm not the end all be all to anything. I'm just giving you things that are going on in my head and what's going on. And once again, you can go to our website, thesuccessjourneyshow.com, and you can find any information that you need about our show and also the previous shows. You could go onto our Twitter, and which is success_show. Our YouTube is The Success Journey Show or Success Journey Show. Now our Instagram and Facebook is Success Journey Show. I will tell you, we're on every platform that you can when it comes to podcasts, but we're really trying to grow our YouTube page. That wasn't our focus when we first started. We started as a podcast, and we didn't have any visuals really, except a couple of Tito Ortiz, Renee Montgomery. We have a couple of people that we actually went to them. We'd have had a lot more, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't travel, and we still can't travel. So we decided to just do the Zoom thing that everybody's doing. If you saw, Zoom also blew up, but that's a different story. So I would tell you, go onto YouTube and subscribe. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. All right. That's one of our goals for the end of the year. Now, let me tell you what somebody told me. They said, Marlon, check it out. We love your show, but your show is positive. And I was like, thank you. Right? And they're like, in this day and age, positive don't go anywhere.
It don't sell. Nope.
It don't sell. And I said, what? And they said, you don't have that many, we have under 100 subscribers on YouTube, but that wasn't our focus. And I said, bro, I could grow YouTube. So I want you to prove that person wrong. That person know who they are. I want you to prove that person wrong. I need 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's a couple more months, so that I can prove them that positivity can go a far way. And we don't have to be talking about who's dating who's not talking to who, or who shot who, in order for us to get subscribers and likes. All right.
Yeah, for sure, guys. It's but you're right, man. You know, positivity. A lot of people, I mean, even look at the news, man.
They know what sells.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, yo, these are only stories that are out there.
These are the only stories that are out there. It's the same, and you can just flip through every one of them.
Yeah,
one person's talking
same
about
thing.
one fire. Everybody's talking about the same, because they want to be able to get that. Those viewerships.
It says something about us, though, as people, as to why are we more attracted to the negative than the positive.
Social Dilemma. I'll tell some people to go watch that right there. Yeah. Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
We'll have a whole segment, I think we should do, Ricky, on social media, and really get in depth. If we even could get a psychologist or somebody, or some people that are open enough that they could tell us how it affects them. Because there's good and bad to everything. There's pros and cons to everything. Yeah. Tell them how it enhanced their life, and how, on the other hand, it caused them to go in a slump or cause them to be deficient in some areas that they would like to be more productive in. I'd like to do a show like that and get somebody on here. If you think if we're looking for some people, man, hit us up and let us know. We need some honest people, though. We don't need people that's going to come on here and say things just for the wow factor. We want to get some honest people to actually come on and give us some testimonials about how social media have affected their life and why a lot of people I see now, they're saying, hey, I took it off my phone.
Yeah.
I only check it once a day now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I found out it consumed me or whatever.
You're so right, man. You're so right, man. But, I want to go back to, we talk about the financing. We have a lot of these podcasts that we have put out over the last I could almost say 2 years. Just roll 2 years out.
Oh,
right, a year and 11 months, man. And a lot of times we listen to the stories of people on their journey and what pushes them to where they are right now. But one thing I want to pause on, and I just want to sit down, and I know we were talking about finances. I said, there's so many topics we could talk to you guys about. We could talk about, how to start a business, how to start developing a business, how to look at different aspects of a business, how to find your niche and all those different things. But, when I go to the fundamental element of everything is like, why? Why do I get up every single morning? Because if you don't have that in focus, the drive for life is just not going to be where it needs to be in order for you to succeed. There's a quote from Mark Twain, right? And I want us to talk about it. It says, the two most important days in your life are the days you are born, are the days you were born and the day you find out why. I'm going to read that one more time. The two most important days in your life are the days you are born and the day you find out why. man, dude, like I read this a while back, and it stung because how powerful it is. One, the day you're brought into this world where it's a phenomenal event within itself, right?
Yep.
And how you get here. Phenomenal time too.
Yeah, for those two people.
Phenomenal time. Phenomenal time. Oh man. And then actually I got images of how I got here. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see that.
I don't want to think about how you got.
I don't want to think about how I got here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, I think about how my sons got here. But the day you were born into this world, and then the day you find out why. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, right? My son came to me yesterday, and he was talking about the universe and how massive the universe is, and how big the Milky Way is, and the other galaxies that are out there, and the different stars, and all this kind of stuff. And I asked him, I said, like, what does that mean to you? I mean, just knowing that it's big, like, what does that mean to you now? He was like, well, that the universe is big. Yeah, okay, yeah, we know that. But what does that mean to you that the universe is big? Like, put it in perspective. And he was just saying how relative to who he is and where he is, that he's small relative to the massiveness of this world, this galaxy.
Yeah.
Right? So then it starts asking you the question, it's like, why? Why me? What am I doing on this earth? What am I doing in this world? Right? And that's where it goes to that question of why. Yeah, you were born that day. You were born that day into this massive universe. And now you're going through life, and that the power really, really bursts. The most important day is when you find out why you were brought to this world, to this universe to live, man. And many people never find that.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Because we live in a society that's cookie cutter.
Yep.
you could go to any parent. They're gonna be telling their kid go to school so you can go to college. So you could, hey dad, I want to go to school, go to college, go to work, come home, kiss the kids, kiss the wife, go to bed. Go to
Yeah.
So it doesn't, and then that just becomes the norm. And they see you do it, and they come doing the same thing, just like you said. Your son see you doing these videos, so he's like, you know, I should try that.
Yeah.
We are so cookie cutter that we're sometimes we're scared to go outside of our boundary or outside of ourselves and see that why. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, I gotta get up to go to work today. That's not your why then.
Yeah. Yep.
Not saying that when you find your why, you're not gonna feel weary along that journey either.
Yeah.
That's what I see a lot of people are doing. As soon as they run into a little roadblock, they just instead of trying to go over the roadblock, they detour altogether and say, "Oh, that wasn't the Lord told me that wasn't for me."
Yeah.
So I think because of that this cookie cutter society, that we have a lot more people that don't have a passion for what they're doing. They're just doing things because A, my parents said to do it. B, I saw my friends do it. Or A, that's how the world works.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
But you ask yourself the question, though. You ask yourself, and I know people, travelers out there are asking themselves right now, and if you're not, then I'm asking you, what does it take to find that why? What does it take to really be able to identify, this is it. This is me. This is who I am. This is why I was placed here. And is there a time frame for it? Going back to the beginning of that journey, we're on that journey and we want to put that, the reason why I said that, you want to put that timeline, we're going to start here. And then year 5, we're going to be here. Year 10, we're going to be here. No, it's like, it doesn't happen that way. As you're going through life, like Marlon is saying, if you're not set up to where you're able to explore who you are, you're able to explore and experience things in different ways, your moment of finding out your why is going to be extremely delayed. Extremely delayed.
You're right, Rick. You could even look at this podcast game, right? So when we first started the podcast, it was already there was a lot of people doing podcasts, but it wasn't as big as it is right now. Of course, the pandemic propelled that everybody went to a podcast.
Yeah.
Companies didn't even know how to work out the algorithm to pay somebody to have a podcast when we started. Yeah. Right? It was just since recently that they're like, okay, this is how you pay somebody. They're still trying to figure it out. Yeah. And I had a lot of friends that said, hey, man, I see you have a podcast. I want to start one too. Hey, that's how you do it. Da-da-da-da. They started it up. 3 episodes. I haven't heard from them. 4 episodes. I haven't heard from them. They'll start. It'll be like 3 months. I'll be like, hey, what happened to your podcast? Oh, yeah. They'll start one. Going right back. So a lot of people just see somebody do something and feel like, you know what? Man, I want to make an impact by doing a podcast too. But that's probably not your why. And the reason why they're so lackadaisical when it comes to producing content is because they thought it was going to go a certain way in their head. By my 3rd episodes, everybody's going to be clicking on here. I'm going to get 15,000 likes. Everybody's going to love it. And then what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for the likes? Or are you doing it because you want to bring the content? Or you want to give some a message? Yeah. We did it because we want to do a message. So we know what our why is when it comes to this podcast. So that's why we're not making anything off of it yet.
No. Right? Man, we make some money, man. What are you talking about, man?
I did.
Come on, man. We make some money.
I did put a couple in my pocket, but I wasn't going to tell you. But we don't make nothing we can brag about. Nothing to brag about. However, when somebody walks up to you and say, yo, I heard this, or I see somebody because somebody said, hey, what's your favorite podcast? And somebody on Instagram puts the Success Journey Show and it notifies us. That makes me feel, okay, somebody's listening. So that person is getting the message that we have been trying to push out to the world.
Yeah. But man, you brought up something good, man, in terms of, people seeing that everyone's doing something and they say, hey, I want to jump on, I want to do it too. Now, in some way, we talk about peer pressure, right? So a lot of times we talk about peer pressure in the context of the negative peer pressure.
Correct.
Right? Now, to do things that are, directly negative, bad, and all that stuff, right? But a lot of times we don't talk about the peer pressure to do things that are positive, but not for you.
That's deep.
Because I was in that, dude. I was in that for years, man. I was doing a lot of stuff. Boom, I was running here, running there, doing this, doing that. Why? Because I was in a sphere of people that everyone was doing it. And it was like, all right, it's a positive thing to do. I can do it. Let me jump in and let me make my space in doing it. But as I'm doing it, it took like certain people to be like, yo, man, that's not you. That's not you. That's not you. I mean, you could do it, but it's not you. Like it's like that. And it will be like one time that I'm really in my zone and they're like, yo, that's who you are.
Yeah.
But what that looked like didn't look like anything that I was trying to mimic or trying to do, because it was a good thing that I saw, right? So I'm trying to chase my why and try to derive my why based off the positive influence I was getting from being around other people that are doing great things. So how do people recognize that, hey, this is a great thing, but this is not my why? And I'm asking that question, but I can tell you what I did, So what I did was, you really have to be honest with yourself. Like the type of person I am is that, one, when it's time to be honest with myself and ask myself the hard question, no matter how long it takes for me to get to that hard question, I sit down and ask myself the question, like, is this it? And if you remove yourself from this environment, will you still be fueled to do this thing? And you looked at it, I was like, nah, I probably wouldn't be fueled. I mean, I like doing it. It was great stuff, but it didn't drive me. There was elements of it that did. There was elements of it that were me. Yeah. That were me naturally. And that I was in my why, my natural state. But the focus around it wasn't completely who I was. So I was satisfying myself in terms of fulfilling my why, right? But it wasn't in the direction that I needed to be going in.
What you're going to cause some problems with that, Rick, what you just said. You're going to cause a lot of problems because there's probably somebody right now that, think about it, that's doing something positive right now. And they know that every time they have to do that positive, and I'm going to pick something, let's pick something outlandish, like not outlandish, but something like a nurse, right? There's somebody else right now that's a nurse that everybody's like, man, you're on the front lines, you're doing your thing, your guys are essential workers right now. But every time that person has never got up and said, man, I'm happy to go to work today.
Yeah.
Or man, I felt good when that person, they're just like, all right, well, my next paycheck, how can I increase, the only thing they're thinking about is to increase their paycheck.
Yeah.
So that why of being successful, like you said, is being fulfilled, but around it is really not. And I think that I never even thought about that. There's a lot of people that are doing positive things right now that is not even their why.
Yeah. Yep. Listen, man, and we're going to get them back on the show. For those that had checked out my previous podcast in the past, a few years ago, the STEM Dialogue, my co-host there, Ian Ferguson, and we're going to have him back on the show, on the Success Journey show, probably next month. I was always very I don't even know the word, but impressed. That's not the word I was thinking. That's a separate word. Another word. Like, what's the word? What's the word? Oh man, I was always impressed by him because he never stopped trying to fulfill his purpose and live in his why.
Mm.
And once he went into a space and he realized that wasn't the space that would contribute to his why, you could see the internal struggle that he had. But the internal struggle was, I need to shift. I need to shift because I need to get closer to my why. I need to get closer to my why. And I mean, from the outside, if you don't know him and you saw some of the moves he made, you'd be like, "Yo, dude, really? Like, man, you had a great job. Like, what are you doing, man? Why would you do that? Why?" Oh, but if you know him and you listen to him, he's like, "No, that's not what I wanted." And every time he made the shift to what he wanted to, more fine tuned to where he wanted to be, the doors opened up for him. Opened up for him. And I'm not gonna steal his thunder with his story where he is right now. But man, we went from when we started our podcast years ago, man, he was an intern working at Hopkins, transitioned from there to another job, then to another job, then to another job, and now he landed at his dream job. Like, I mean, and he was like, man, this is who I am right here. And I'm gonna let him share the story. But that I shared that because a lot of people, they'll get that internal conflict with themselves and they're struggling knowing that this is not where they need to be, but they have so many other external factors that are keeping them there. Yeah. So it's like, if I leave this, then how am I going to pay this? Or if I do this, how am I going to look to people? I put a lot of time in. Am I going to lose time? And all the while, that reason why you were born is never realized because you're distracted by things that are good in life.
Yeah, bro. And you talk about that. There's somebody else I want to bring on the show too. Dwayne Wright. We call him in Jamaica. We call him Soji, right? Short for soldier, right? Because he just looked like a soldier. He was very built. But no homo. But no pause. Whatever what do you prefer? But so picture this. This guy moves up to the United States. He's in his 20s. He's in his 20s, early 20s. To New York, Jamaican, that's where he lived down in Seaview, down in Brooklyn. And this guy on the shout, this guy calls me. I'm living in Atlanta. I'm like, from New York to Atlanta? And he was living in Atlanta for a while. For years. Hey, I moved back to New York. What? Then he called me one day. Hey, I'm living in Colorado. But he's not scared to go.
Man.
And it's not and just like you said, it's not that if you're from the outside looking in, you're like, yo, you're in a good position, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He just had to go. And now he's in a position that that's where he wants to be. He just loves it.
Yeah. Man, travelers, I hope you're getting the point of what we're trying to make today, because, finding fulfillment, and we talked about this before in a previous episode, finding fulfillment is the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Success is finding fulfillment.
Correct.
That is the journey that you're on.
Everything else is additive.
Everything is additive because I was reading something the other day and it said, hey, everything I do is the other day, right? it was though, it's just like, if we recorded every day, it would have been today.
The other day.
Yeah, the other day. A couple days ago, a couple weeks ago. But it doesn't matter. I was doing it, okay? I was reading something and it said, It would be worse if I said today. Always said today, right? Like, yo, what's up this guy do today? But yeah, I was reading something, and it was saying how, fulfillment is what you need to seek after, and a new job is not going to fulfill you. A new house is not going to fulfill you. Losing weight and getting in shape is not going to fulfill you. All those things seem great, seem good, don't necessarily lead to fulfillment.
Correct.
And it's until you find that thing that's going to fulfill you, and it's internal. It's not external. There's nothing external that's going to fulfill you. It's an internal peace. It's an internal joy that you have that will take you to that fulfillment. And in that, you will be able to determine why, find out that why or why you were born. That is the essence of life, man. Fulfillment.
You are Rick, and what you're thinking is the other day, when I was watching, especially I was watching that Social Dilemma, and I tell everybody, go watch that, right? I don't get a paycheck from Netflix. Netflix, that you're hearing, hook us up. But when I was watching that, the main thing I was seeing is just like what you're saying. There's not an internal peace with a lot of people. They don't have that internal peace, so they're just constantly searching, and they're jumping on the next wave. Whatever is popular, you're doing it.
Yeah.
If you're doing a challenge, and sorry to go back. I see people like they're dancing. Are you signaling a plane? Like, I'm like, what are you doing? It's a TikTok challenge. There, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Every kind of challenge they're doing. You see people doing now that they're telling their mother to shut up just for a challenge. All these different things that you got to just, whatever is there, that's what they're doing, because there's no internal peace like what you're talking about. They're not finding that internal peace, so they're constantly searching for something.
Yep.
And it is, once you're doing that, it's like you're a leaf blown in the wind. Just if the wind is blowing here, you're going there. If the wind is blowing here, you're going there. And to people, you might not think it look crazy, but to other people, we're like, what in the world is going on?
What I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah. And the reason why we're saying all this is because it's so easy. Like, no one is oh man, I'm really am lost of words today, guys. My brain is fried, my goodness. No, yeah. So everyone is could be false susceptible to this, everyone. Because there's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
There's things that are going to distract you in a negative way from fulfilling your why, and there's things going to distract you in a positive way,
which is even more deep, I think, than the negative.
Yeah,
but I think it's easier to see that negative.
Exactly, it's not easier to see the positive.
Drinking has prohibited me from doing da-da-da. Cut out the drinking, I'm more productive.
Yep.
But when you're productive already, to say I'm productive, but this is not where I need to be productive, man. I'm telling you brought up that there's going to be a lot of people that listen to this right here that's going to have to sit back and really question themselves.
Mm-hmm. And actually, the question is good for you. Is good for you, man. I actually got to preach in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be my sermon title. Is good for you.
Where are you going to be preaching at?
Online.
Where? What church?
Beacon Light Tabernacle.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Taking it back home.
They never asked me to preach. I don't know why. Maybe I gotta say something I was reading the other day.
I know the lingo, man. I was reading today. And this morning in my meditation time, I was like, oh, we got to get that guy. No, it's good enough. It's good for you, and that's a question you got to ask yourself, man. Is good for you? And that's a hard thing to let go, because letting go of good, there's a book called Good to Great. Letting go of good to be great, is harder than letting go of bad traits to be good. And when we say, hey, the most important thing, going back to that quote from Mark Twain, the two most important days in your life are the days you are born or the day that you were born and the day that you find out why. Because when you find out why, man, no one can stop you, man.
That aha moment, I tell people when I have watched people have that aha. I know when I went through that aha moment.
Yeah. It was just tell us about it. Tell us.
So it's funny. From joining the military, I went to it. People would think, you come to the military, you're just inundated with kill, and kill. You just always kill, that kill mode.
I hope so, man. That's what you guys are there for, man.
Yeah, that's what you're there for. But
protect us.
I end up surrounding myself around a lot of people that wanted something else. Not just they were good at because we could have done just like what you said. We could have been like, oh, we're doing good military-wise, we're good. But there was something else outside the military. Even though I'm still in, there's something outside the military we can be doing.
Yeah.
That is forming a business. So we formed a business. There's so much different things that I was like, okay. And then it just came all in scope that, this is not the only thing I should be doing. I have other things I should be doing. I'm great at other things. I'm actually good at this other stuff. And I need to push that more because I know that one day this have to end here. The military have to end.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I'll have that formulated. And it was, so it even made my journey in the military even that more. I've owned stores, right? I've owned stores. I've been to flea markets selling toys. I've sold tires.
5 links.
5 links. I did whatever I was doing it. I was on it. And it's just so when I had to move or when I met some new people, it wasn't the thing about the military. It wasn't like, oh man, I have to move this year to California. I'm thinking, man, what's the real estate like? What's the real estate like in California? So for me, it was like, oh yeah, I need to go out there and see what's going on.
Yeah.
So it made my time in the Marine Corps even much more enjoyable because my whole thing wasn't just consumed by a Marine Corps mentality of just like we say, bullets and bad guys. That wasn't it.
Yeah.
It was other things that when I go, I need to build a network in this city. I need people to know me. I need to be the mayor of this city. That when I leave, if I need to reach back and I need to be able to, I could have a network.
Yeah.
All these different things happened while I was here. And then when I found out why, this is why I'm supposed to be. This is why I'm here in the military. This is the real why.
Yeah. It's crazy, man, because, man, it's like we have, it goes back to, we was having a discussion earlier, man, and I didn't tell you I was watching a video, and this is today, not the other day, watching a video, and the video I saw before, it was a documentary on Lonnie Johnson. I don't know if anyone here knows who Lonnie Johnson is. Lonnie Johnson is an African-American male that worked for NASA. He was in the military, and he created the Super Soaker that we know. The revolutionary water gun of our time when we were young.
Yes.
Right?
When we were young.
Right. And late 80s, early 90s, whatever. And he left. He had these ideas and everything. He was always a tinkerer, always designing stuff, building things from young. Won robot contests when he was younger and things of that nature. Joined the military, and he just knew leaving the military he was going to just go out and be an entrepreneur. That was his thing. I'm getting out, did my time. It was great, but I had these ideas. I want to pursue them. So he got out of the military and, started tinkering around, went to school, all that kind of stuff. Later on in his career, ended up at NASA. He was working on with some heat pumps in his house. And he said water just started to spray out of a nozzle at a really high pressure. And he said, wow, this would be a great water gun. because back in the day, he used to play with water guns and love it.
And it was garbage, right?
Yeah. Quirk, squirt. Yeah, like the little thing.
From the first few squirts are good, and by tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's right there, yeah.
Yeah. So he went, designed first Super Soaker, took him some time. And he said his idea was, I'm going to build a company, manufacture these, and do it. Like I'm killing this thing, right? And he went and looked, and he was like, you know what? No, I'm going to license this. So he went and licensed it for a company. Took him some years to get it licensed, but when he finally licensed it, he said he got his first royalty check, and he was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Got his second royalty check. He was like, okay. He said, in the meantime, the Super Soaker was being advertised in music videos, a whole bunch of toy stores, and the thing started flying off the shelf. He said when he got his third royalty check, second or third royalty check, he looked at it and he was like, man, my life just changed forever. And he was just like, so when I remember we're talking about find out your why, right? So I told you, he's created a Super Soaker. He was like, I'm going to start a company. He's like, nah, let me do whatever, go in, license it. And because he realized what his why was. His why wasn't to start a business. His why was to develop things. So he went back to the bench and he developed, oh my goodness, it's something in the 20s patent. There was more than in the teens of patents that he developed for designs that were in not only the Super Soakers, but also all the Nerf guns that were out. And this dude has made, they said the Super Soaker sales on the Super Soakers alone, that year that they made this video, was like in the 90s, was around, it was over $1 billion. And he was sitting on, they said in the interview, $20 million just from up to that point in that video. And they said, man, what did he do with his money? What he did was he went and developed a research lab, his own research lab, so that he can do more tinkering. And now he's taken his development why, and applying it to cancer, applying it to like the health field, applying the technology field, and all these different things, because he's sitting in his why. Now he could have easily ran with it, like, oh man, I'm going to be a toy manufacturer. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do for my life. But he was like, that would not excite me every day. What excites me is every day to be able to tinker it, be able to develop, be able to build, be able to, do those things. And since he was able to be in his why, this is the huge impact he's able to have on the entire world. And so when you hear stories like that, and there's tons of stories like that, like most inventors or pioneers out there, we know them because they were living in their why.
Correct.
You're trying to be known by going on social media and posting. You try to be known by having a whole exciting stories, in there. I hate to bust anyone's bubble, but as fast as that minute goes that your story goes away, that's how fast it goes out of people's mind.
Correct.
It's not here forever. It's not. And so the longer we're spending time trying to figure out what to post and where we're going to post it at, and this and all that, and see how many views we got, and all those kind of comments, response, and wasting all this time in that space, the longer it is for us to find out or really allow our why to fully blossom in our lives. Because some people may be dibble-dabbling, I'm doing this and I'm doing why. Yeah, but why not focus all your attention on your why? How are you stagnating your impact by being distracted by things that are not contributing to your why? So that's what we want to talk to you guys about today. We want to leave you guys with, like,
that's serious.
Why are you doing what you are doing?
And that's serious, because there's a lot of people that can't answer that, Rick.
No.
And just like you said, there's a lot of people that's going to go back to the dirt. And they're not going to be able to answer it. And never had the fulfillment of why.
Yep. Never found fulfillment.
99 years old and still never had that inner peace of why.
Yep. And that's my biggest fear. honestly, I'm going to tell you, man, that's my biggest fear in life, that I'm going to get old, get gray, you know, I'm going to die, you know, everyone's going to die at some point, you know, that I'm there and I'm like, man, I never lived in my why.
Correct.
Or I never found it early enough, you know, to make the impact that I can make in life, not just my life, but my kids' life, grandkids' life, and life to come, you know. So what is your why, guys? You know, is good for you? You know, that's the question we want to leave you guys with. Hey, listen, guys, man, we're here. We're on this journey with you. Like I said, man, you see behind me, I'm selling this house. Man, I'll tell you the story through this whole transition. You know, even with me, you know, this just even this is new for me. You know, selling a house, first time selling a house, first time house seller. You know, but it's funny because I was signing off today, and the closing, and the guy was asking, you know, was this your primary residence? And I was just like, yeah. And then I was just like, man, I can't wait to that day when I'm like, no, not my primary residence.
No, it's not my primary residence.
Nah, not my primary residence. You know,
I bought this actually to sell.
Yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, I man, it's coming. It's on my journey. Like I said, I'm not gonna put the timeline on it, but it's coming. It's on my journey. And you guys, man, we just want you guys to see yours, see your why, you know, in your life. So, man, you guys need to check us out on the Success Journey Show, Instagram. We tell you not to go to social media, but go to our page, okay? Positive stuff. When you see something on our page, it's going to last forever. You know? We're not good on that. We're not good on that.
If you go on our social media page, you'll be like, yeah, these guys only post when they're posting the show.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's it. People say we got to do better, but we'll see, man. We're not here for it. You know, we're not here for that. You know, if there's someone that wants to join our team that says, hey, you know, I could really push you guys on social media and all this kind of stuff, by all means, reach out to us.
Yep, that might be your one.
Yep, the Success Journey podcast at gmail.com, or send us a comment on any one of our social media platforms, or leave a review on any of the podcast platforms that you listen to this podcast on. Hey, we're looking for people that if you want to fulfill your why by working with the Success Journey Show team.
And grow with us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the key thing. Grow with us. We already told you what we're making.
Because trust me, we have checked out people. You guys on this social media thing, you guys are trying to get rich overnight. Yeah, $10,000 for 3 months.
Yeah,
I'm going to post every 5 minutes for you. What?
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, before we get out of here, man, I'm telling you guys. So we are, remember, our YouTube. Let's show people that positivity can go a far way. I'm trying to prove this to these guys that listen. I don't have to talk about, and I'm not going to call no names. I don't have to talk about this celebrity, that celebrity, or whatever entices people on whatever other podcast. Or page. I don't have to do that. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So that's basically what we're trying to do on YouTube platform.
Yeah. Love it, guys. Listen, we will be back with you next week at the same time. Yeah, I'll be trying out some different virtual backgrounds because I will be in transition for a few months. So I won't be in this nice, beautiful space, but with my virtual background, you may never know. So we'll definitely check you guys out next week, same time, same place on the Success Journey Show. All right, everyone. Peace. Have a good one.
You've been listening to the Success Journey Show, where your dreams, drive, determination, and diligence are the foundation to success. For more information, check out thesuccessjourneyshow.com. The Journey Squad is here helping you to your destination.